Hello everyone, my name is Elena Rodriguez. I am one of the research and instruction librarians at the College of Charleston, but more importantly to you, I am your English 110 librarian. Basically what this means is that I am here to help you throughout the research process in this class, and specifically with your rhetorical situation analysis. This video is going to be an overview of how to conduct research using the course guide I made for you with Dr. Young's helpful input. Please know that this guide or the library website are the best places to start your research for this RSA, especially when you're finding your scholarly sources. So let's go ahead and get started by talking about this first tab. The main thing I want you to take away from this page is that you can easily make an appointment with me or email me if you have any questions. Making an appointment to meet with me is very easy and immediately goes on my calendar once you've confirmed it. Of course, please email me if you don't see a time that works for you, as I'm very willing to work with your schedule as much as possible. The easiest way to navigate the course guide is to use the tabs at the top of the page. These are numbered to help you recognize the steps you should be taking as you go through your research process. For example, the first thing we should do is make sure we understand the components of the RSA. This tab has a lot of helpful information on what we should be including in our introduction, argument, and conclusion, as well as an outline. Please refer to this page for any questions you may have, or talk with Dr. Young for specific assignment questions. Our next step is to find background information, as it is helpful to understand the historical context of our artifacts. Looking at the people, events, and situations that led to its creation helps you better understand the audience, exigence, and constraints. I have a few different databases here to help with this process. I would encourage you to explore all of them, but for this demo, I'm going to spend time showing you Credo Reference. Credo Reference is one of the many databases the library subscribes to and provides you access to information with. This database in particular works like an academic Wikipedia. It connects you to scholarly encyclopedias, dictionaries, and reference works to learn more about a topic in a general sense. To search Credo, type in a keyword or phrase related to your topic. A quick tip: when searching a key phrase of 2 or more words, make sure to search it in quotation marks to find that exact order of words. The quotation marks essentially work like glue and searches that phrase as one thing. In this example, I'm using Clean Water Act, and I have some 200 results returned. The one filter I always encourage you to use with Credo is to select the length of the article. Longer articles just make finding more robust information easier because we aren't getting stuck with 80-word dictionary entries that don't help us too much in learning about a topic. Since we searched Clean Water Act as a key phrase, all of these entries mention it in some way. What's helpful to refer back to is where these entries come from. For example, this first entry is in an encyclopedia that looks more at the economics of natural resources, whereas the second entry is looking at it from the perspective of environmental politics. There will likely be some overlap, but it's also helpful to see how that information changes based on the context of the source. To look at the full text, click on the link provided. You will see the full reference entry, which is a great source of information, but I also want to point out 3 other helpful features. The first is the related searches on the top right of the page. Clicking these links will conduct searches in the database as a whole for any articles that mention that phrase. Secondly, at the end of many of the articles, there is a See Also section, which connects you to related topics within the encyclopedia you are currently searching in. For example, if I click on this link for water pollution, I am taken to that entry in the Natural Resource Economics Encyclopedia. Lastly, many of these articles have a further reading section, which suggests books, chapters, and articles to further expand on that topic discussed. I hope you take the time to explore Credo and the other databases listed to learn more about your topics and get the historical context needed for your RSA. Now that we have this historical context research started, let's talk about searching for scholarly sources. On this tab, I have recommended databases you should use as you start your research. Like Credo, these databases serve as a platform or hub that holds collections of resources, like academic journals, magazines, or newspapers. Remember that in those journals are the scholarly articles we need for our research. Some databases are subject-specific and some can cover a wide range of topics. In this list, the Agriculture and Environmental Science Collection database is a very specific subject-specific database. This means that the sources in this database are related to the subjects of agriculture and environmental science. Searching a subject-specific database can be very helpful for that reason because it's already going to do a layer of filtering to our searches. For this video, however, I'm going to show you a database called Academic Search Complete. This is a multidisciplinary database that covers a wide variety of subjects, but can be helpful in getting a better sense of what's being said about a topic. To access the database, click on its name on the LibGuide. From that link, you will be taken directly to the advanced search option. As a pro tip, it's often easier to use an advanced search because it helps to visually break down what terms you are searching. Remember, the database does not work like Google, and typing in a random string of thoughts or questions won't yield good results. Think of the main keywords and phrases related to your topic. For example, if we are researching pollution of drinking water in Flint, Michigan, we may want to start with the phrase drinking water in quotation marks and Flint or Flint, Michigan. We'll just want to put each keyword in one of these search boxes and use "and" to join them. And basically tells the database, hey, I want all sources that mention both of these things. So after we hit search, we can see how many results we have and how we can refine those results with the tools on the left-hand side. If looking for scholarly peer-reviewed articles, checks the box peer-reviewed and academic journals. Assess your new batch of results. As a helpful tip, 150 to 300 sources is a great space to be in when you've started narrowing down your results. You can always go lower, but just remember that it may mean you're limiting your results and yourself. Take your research in stages to see what each limit brings your search. Let's take a look at an article at this stage. When we click on the resource listed, it will take us to a record of the source. The record is the part of the database that provides detailed bibliographic information, like the authors, the page range, the journal name, all of which helps build your citation. You can also find the abstract to get a quick snapshot of the source to do some preliminary evaluation. Remember that the abstract is just a summary and not something you should be referencing in your paper. Look to the full text on the article for the most complete information. Always cite from the full text. To read the full text, look for the option that says PDF full text or linked full text or HTML full text. It'll be up here in the top left-hand corner. This will let us see the full article to read and evaluate. Take advantage of the tools as well. Of note, I personally recommend emailing any source that you may find useful to yourself. Ultimately, it's easier to delete an email that you don't need than to recreate a search. Let's try filtering our results a bit further. My personal favorite way to limit results, especially when I have a lot that have been returned, is by subject. Now, when we searched water pollution in Flint, we were searching for any times those phrases were mentioned. A subject is the database's way of saying, this article is about this topic. For example, there are 52 articles that are about water supply, or 37 that are about Flint water crisis. Let's select that one as a subject and see those results. Occasionally, sources will come up that don't say PDF or linked full text, but instead they say, find it at C of C. This means that the article may not be immediately available in this database, but we can try to find it in another C of C database. To do this, click the Find It at C of C button. This will take you to the record in the library's website where you can see if it's available or if it needs to be requested. In this example with the article Economics of Public Safety, we can see the full text is available in 2 other databases. Click on one of those database links to be taken to the full text of the article. In the second example, we can see that we don't seem to have the article in a different database, and to access it, we would need to request it through interlibrary loan, or ILL. ILL is an amazing resource that the library offers where we find the article for you from another institution and deliver a PDF version directly to you. To do this, click the Request via ILL option. You will log in with your My Charleston username and password, and as a side note, the first time you use ILL, you will have to fill out some account information. But once you are logged in, I can see most of my information is already populated. You will complete the last few required fields and hit submit. Once you submit, the article will show up as being processed in your main menu. And when an article arrives, you will get an email that links you back to your account so you can access the PDF. Here is one I requested earlier that has already been delivered. I click the PDF icon, and now I have the full text of the article at my fingertips. Never pay for an article. We can almost always find it for you and request it. When you are looking at sources to use for your paper, I encourage you to spend time actually evaluating them. The next tab on your LibGuide can help with this by introducing you to the CRAP test. The CRAP test helps you remember to think about some key elements when looking at an article of any kind. Is this information current as it relates to the information I need? How is it relevant to you and fits your needs? What authority does the source have? This could be the authority of the authors or the publisher as a whole. How accurate or reliable is this information? Does it cite sources and refer back to other scholarship? And lastly, what's its purpose? Why does this information exist? The scorecard on the right can be helpful in addressing these things, but as always, you can reach out to me if you have any questions. Finally, the last tab on your guide links you to the Columbia College Citation Guide for great examples of all the types of citations you will be using in your papers, both on your Works Cited page and the in-text. I'm also happy to go over citations with you at any time. Just let me know how I can assist. And with that, you should have a good introduction on how to start your research for your RSA. I hope you will find the information in this video helpful, but you can always refer to the other videos and resources throughout your guide for more information. Please take advantage of the fact that I'd love to work with you, and I'm happy to help. And on that note, I wish you the best of luck moving forward and hope to talk to you all in the future.